Greetings and welcome to another Patch Notes video here at Words About Games. I'm your host, Amy Alexander, and I'm joined in this video by Keith Robinson, the glorious Keith Robinson. We're here to discuss the Kinda Funny Games Showcase.
Praise the sun.
Praise the sun. The Kinda Funny Games Showcase, which happened on the Saturday just gone. It was just over an hour long. There were 69 games showcased at the showcase. Most of which were indie games, which we kind of expected. The Kinda Funny Games Showcase was a weird one because it's never been done before, so nobody knew what the hell was going to happen. You actually watched this with me on Twitch over at twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames. What do you think?
I was expecting like some sort of like table like that they would sit around
Like
talking,
podcast type thing. Yeah.
or more like when they cut to like on your Overwatch League, when they cut back to the cast chat end of the table or something, and they sit around it, and maybe would have a couple of people come on and talk to them.
Instead,
maybe
it was
Instead, they just appeared like randomly around. What was it?
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Can I just say I love that. They were just, because it wasn't like, it started off, it was like, the cliff, and you could see the San Francisco Gate Bridge in the back, Golden Gate Bridge in the background. And then it was like, but then it was like, and then even the things along the bottom of the screen, it was just like Cool Greg's friend's house.
It was the first time it started like it was the landmarks, and then it was Greg's Starbucks.
Yeah, Greg's local Starbucks. Greg's favorite Buffalo Wings place and Tim's favorite burrito place. It's just like, I dig it. I dig it. Like, let's not take it too seriously. And it was a great platform for a lot of games that don't necessarily or wouldn't necessarily have had that platform. Like, even if PSX had happened, most of these games would not have made an appearance at PSX.
Yeah.
So we got to see some really cool games. We'll start with, I guess, the capper of a long-running story arc on the Words About Games cast, which is The Walking Dead, the final season, episode 3, is coming out on January 15th. We kind of knew it was already nearly finished, based on everything we knew after the closure of Telltale Games. So the fact that it's out so quickly probably isn't a surprise, but they got about 40 people, I think they said, from the original Telltale team over at Skybound, working in the old Telltale studio. Which is what, to be fair, it's because they were talking about we want to do this, but there could be logistical issues because Skybound is in a different part of California to where Telltale was, and I was like, why don't they just use the offices? No one else is using them. And that's apparently
we had that literal conversation.
Yeah,
the equipment and everything is.
What I'm hoping though, this is because when the news broke, episode 2, obviously it was just coming out that week. And I was like, oh, this is going to be bittersweet because I'm going to be playing this episode and I don't know if it's going to be... Never been able to download it.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping this means I'll be able to download episode 2. Because episode 1 was awesome. It was a return to form, as they say. So that's The Walking Dead. Yeah, we already know all about it. Clementine, the final season, AJ. Let's talk about Judgment. So the Yakuza team and Sega were going to be there. There was this whole Twitter exchange. And I had two choices. Either they were going to reveal Project Judge for the West, or it was going to be a Yakuza remaster. And in my predictions, I decided to go with Yakuza remaster. And it was Project Judge. Fuck. My 2018 curse strikes again. But this is the Yakuza spin-off. I think it's set in the same world as the Yakuza. It's definitely got the same gameplay style as the Yakuza, except you're playing a judge, maybe, or an investigator of some kind, who is also incredibly adept at street brawling. And basically this game is about as Japanese as a game can get.
Basically, Judge Judy if she was Japanese.
Judge Judy if she was Japanese and knew martial arts and could make her flames do that. Her fists do that thing where they glow blue flames. Punch people across.
Did you not know?
Japan.
Why do you think everyone in America respects her?
Wow. Huh, you learn something new every day. It's coming in the summer of 2019. It's probably going to be really cool. I just finished playing Yakuza 6 not that long ago. Yakuza 6 is awesome. I'm sure Project Judge will be at least fun to play. It's a completely new story because they kind of finished with Kiryu's story. Let's move on to the only game on this list I have written in capital letters. Boyfriend Dungeon.
Yeah.
I've been following this game for a
Be
while.
careful when you search for this one, internet.
Definitely. So it's an RPG with like top-down sort of isometric RPG mechanics. You're actually fighting, and all of your weapons are also cute boys that you can romance.
Hope it's not weapon durability in this.
Imagine. It turns into like this super like dark tale of just like, I need to finish this boss, but like you only have one hit left in you. I'm sorry, my love. I'm just sat there with the controller like, what's happening? Friend,
hardcore
no.
There's a whole other game.
Yeah, no, this is by Kit Fox Games. They've been building this game for a while. They made a couple of games that we have reviewed on the channel. I believe one of them was Cultist Simulator.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
that's the one you played. I'm talking about. There's a one I played. Shit. Okay, we're just gonna pretend that I didn't. I don't know. There's a couple of games. They're really cool. Go check them out. Kit Fox Games. Boyfriend Dungeon. Super Meat Boy Forever is coming out. That got a trailer.
Yeah.
The super difficult platformer that we almost got Russ to play as his forfeit because we knew he was going to hate it. Because we're apparently terrible people. Go figure.
You're the one who comes up with these things.
No, this was Tom even made a special group chat for it. And everything. I believe Super Meat Boy was his idea. Neo was my idea. Cuphead was your idea. So you actually won. Or we just bowed to you because you're our DM. There's also Storm Divers, which was the Housemarque Battle Royale drink. Look, right. I'm as sick as Battle Royales as the next person. Sort of. I really like Call of Duty's Battle Royale. But Housemarque make amazing games. They made Nex Machina. They made Resogun. They made the zombie one that Tom really likes that I never played.
Metal Gear Survive?
No, I didn't like Metal Gear Survive. I just said I did so I could get you to play it with me in the beta. And we had fun with that. Most of that fun was because we were shooting each other in the starting area, but that's beside the point. So that's the only thing I would say that like marks Storm Divers out to me is like being something I want to keep an eye on because Housemarque make really, really, really solid games. So that is one I would definitely keep an eye on if I was you. Let's talk about Moving Out because I know this one caught your eye as well as mine.
Yeah. Was it Patrick that described it as overcooked?
It was Tom. He was in chat and described it as overcooked, but moving furniture. And it was your typical sort of absurdist humor. It devolves into absurdist humor. It's just like, first it's just normal moving things, and the two characters are just like big smiles on their faces no matter what, just moving shit around, and then like the scenarios start getting more ridiculous, and then you start throwing things, and then you're crossing the road, and then you're walking down a motorway, and then like you're crossing
on the plane.
Yeah, and then you're chucking stuff off the plane. Was it off the plane into a truck that was driving along? And I was like, you know what, this is going to be something we're going to play because we like Overcooked, and this looks like exactly the kind of multiplayer game that we will try out, probably on a stream, probably on a charity stream. Scream at each other. It'll be fun. Pass the burger. No, that's Overcooked again. A game that stands out almost for its name alone was Jenny LeClue Detective-Vu. It actually looked really interesting. I I don't really remember that much about the trailer in terms of details. I just remember you play as Jenny LeClue. He was a detective.
You remember more than I do.
Yeah, no, it stuck out because the gameplay looked really cool, and also I chuckled quite a lot at the name. It looks really cool. It's a 2D sort of thing where you're detecting things. This is the problem with the Kind of Funny Games Showcase. Everything went by so fast. It's hard to keep track of the details of these things sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
when I was trying to talk about it post stream of like what I enjoyed and like what my favorite games were, it was like it's kind of a blur. Because they were thrown at like they were sometimes thrown at like 3 or 4 or 5 games at once, and it was like,
Well, not as bad as Microsoft Sizzle Reel.
Microsoft ID at Xbox Sizzle Reels, right? That was where Cuphead was first revealed, and Ashen were first revealed in ID at Xbox Sizzle Reels. I remember Cuphead, everybody saw like 3 seconds of it and lost their shit because they were like, "What the fuck was that? Was it a game?" Yes.
Was that a game? Yes.
Ape Out, which is Hotline Miami, but you're an ape. You might remember this one. You're a big ape, and you're going through the tower down the floors, and you're chucking dudes. And then at one point, you picked the dude up, and then used him as a shield / you could shoot his machine gun. It looks kind of fun. My only thing with that is, if that's all there is to it, how long could it be fun for?
Yeah.
Before it gets a bit repetitive. Like Hotline Miami 2, you got all sorts of different weapons and different layouts and different it's like very tactical and very strategic, and you have to sort of be precise in your movements because of the difficulty. Whereas Ape Out is just you smash the fuck out of everything because you're a giant ape. And even in the short sort of demo / trailer that we saw, you picked guys up and used them, and then you threw them, and then that was it. But it looks cool. I don't want to shit all over a game I know nothing about.
Mm-hmm.
I usually just shit all over games I've played. Speaking of games I do know about, though, Y2K is coming out in January. This is Y2K. I believe the subtitle is a postmodern RPG. So the characters are searching for someone, because there was this whole internet mystery of a girl gets into an elevator and then disappears and doesn't come back out. And there's this whole conspiracy internet mystery thing. That's actually a real life mystery as well, but we'll not go into that. A really dark, sinister one, whereas this isn't quite as dark and sinister. I think it's like a portal opens up and she gets sucked into it. But it's very much an old school JRPG in terms of its gameplay mechanics. I've actually played this at EGX once, and but the characters, like one of the characters' weapons is records, like vinyls, and it's very much like it's set in the 80s, I believe.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it coming out. I'm just testing the boundaries of Keith's remembrance of this now, because I didn't show you any trailers before we did this, like I did with the other video. The developer's really cool as well. The game got delayed because of a personal thing with the developers. It's been gold for a little while, so we've been kind of like waiting for the release date. And I was just really hoping it wasn't one of the games that was, and it's available now, because I don't have time in my schedule for an RPG.
Indeed.
Aftercharge, you reminded me what this game was.
Yeah. I remembered having seen it somewhere before, but I couldn't remember the name when it came up on screen. However, you seem to be lost. It's like that asymmetrical game.
I remember the concept. I don't remember the name or the game or any of the gameplay, but when they were talking about it, was 3v3, and you've got to destroy the generators, and the attackers are invisible, and the defenders are invincible. I was like, I remember that concept, and it sounds really interesting. Like, what do you think? Like, of just the concept alone, like the invisible attackers versus the invincible defenders is kind of like.
I've seen in recent years a fair few asymmetrical multiplayer games. I don't remember them being blessed with an inordinate amount of success.
There are some asymmetrical multiplayer games that work and some that don't. I know the big one that'll probably stick in both our heads is Evolve was a disaster. in terms of balancing. So I suppose it depends how well you balance that out, because you can't kill the defenders, but the defenders can't see you. I guess they'll only be able to see you when you attack the generators. Otherwise, the attackers would be OP. Incredibly enough, the attackers would be OP despite the fact that the defenders are unkillable. So, like, I'm interested. It looks really cool as well. Like, the graphic art style looks cool. I'm interested to see how the concept plays out. There are a lot of really good multiplayer games that could potentially be great, and that was showcased there. We're only talking about a couple because we don't have the space or the brain power to talk about 69 games.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Disco Elysium. So this is another one I played at EGX. I've got a story to tell. I don't know if I told the story on a podcast once. It used to be called No Truce with the Furies, and it's a detective RPG. And I'm going to set, like, you're trying to solve a murder in a fictional town in Eastern Europe. But I want to talk about the humor of the game. Let's go. So it's all about skill checks. So you level up different skills, and that like unlocks different conversation options. So there's this one part where this guy's, my landlord, I believe it was, trying to get rent out of the main character. And you've got several options of what you can do depending on what your skills are. And one of the options was run. So I was like, fuck, I'll run. Like, I'm a cop. The door's over there. It's fine. Click. Do a skill check. Failed. So what you would think is, oh, you run, and maybe you trip. Maybe he catches you. No. Failure in this game was the character, and this is all described on the screen, the guy runs away and then decides, instead of using the door, he's going to jump out the window. And as he jumps out of the window, he turns to give his landlord the double bird. But what he doesn't see coming around the corner is a person in a wheelchair, and he crashes into the person in the wheelchair. I ruined. Someone was doing an interview about Sunless Skies right next to me, and I ruined it because I was in tears. I was in stitches laughing. Like, that's why I will always remember this game for that one moment. I don't remember enough about the rest of the games on this list, but I'll knock them off. The Occupation, which is another one I've played. The whole game takes place over the course of 6 hours, and it's in real time. So the idea is you have to get to specific events throughout the game to do the story, but you can really do whatever you want. So it's like very interesting in that regard because like everyone has set patterns, they do set things, you go to set meetings. Fair Tactics is a tactics game with Faye in it. The Wild 8 has a narrator whose voice I recognize but cannot place. It has been driving me mental for days. Please help me, internet. I need to know who did this. I went on the Kinda Funny Twitter because they did all breakouts for all the games. And they put The Wild 8 on with the trailer. And I replied to that tweet and said, who is this narrator? And where do I know them from? Because it's driving me crazy. The developer of the game liked the tweet but didn't reply to it. Thanks. Thanks, guys. That really helps. I'm going to go fucking crazy until this game comes out trying to think about it. I'm going to be watching this trailer over and over again, trying to figure out who this voice is. And then it's going to be someone like Matt Mercer or something. Like someone really obvious.
Yeah.
Oh, bastards. I might just start tweeting the developer randomly, like, seriously, tell me. See, please, God fucking tell me. I know you know. I know you guys know you're doing this on purpose. Anyway, that's going to do it for our roundup of the Kinda Funny Games Showcase. There were 69 games. We did the best we could with what we had. Most of the trailers were like 30 to 40 to 50 seconds long.
Yeah.
It was a good show, though, and it's about an hour and 20 minutes long. You should go check it out. There's a lot of cool games there. And your taste...
There's a lot of cool places in San Francisco.
Cool Greg's friend's house looks really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, your tastes might vary from ours. If you do, let me know. And if anybody knows who did the voiceover for the Wild 8 trailer, please, for the love of God, tell me. Please.
Fun Mark with another.